Don't worry, it's fixable. Here's my hot take on theory versus empiricism. Disclaimer alert. This video might get a little bit heady. Please enter at your own risk. Oh, there you are. Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm a fully licensed financial planner. And have I got a story for you? So I was on a plane to New Mexico 2 weeks back, and I took a deep dive into the movie Oppenheimer, which sparked a few thoughts on the classic theory versus empiricism debate. What does that mean? Well, have you ever wondered why something that works on paper doesn't necessarily work in reality? Exactly. So when I lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico, I used to drive up to Los Alamos to see a doctor. Kind of crazy to think that Los Alamos was once just a bunch of tents in the woods before the Manhattan Project, right? I digress. The movie got me thinking a lot about theory versus empiricism, how something that might seem mathematically impossible can still happen empirically when tested in a lab. Kind of reminds me of the financial markets. Take the VIX, for instance, also known as Wall Street's Fear Index. No, not the vapor rub. 2 weeks ago, it spiked to a four-year high, which coincided with a 3% drop in the S&P 500 in one day, its worst performance in 2 years. The same thing happened back in 2008 and a few other times this millennium, this millennia, this millennium. So what caused the spike? Well, at the end of the day, any speculation about human behavior is ultimately just speculation. Like what makes an ant walk in this direction versus that? Nobody knows. Some say it was concerns about rising bond yields, China's economic woes, or perhaps even Fitch's downgrade of the United States' creditworthiness. Add those up, and you're probably going to get some recession fear. And boy, don't those recession fears bounce back quick these days. Am I right? Anyway, back to theory versus empiricism. Theory in financial analysis relies heavily on historical averages, case studies, and models, while empiricism is very much based on real-world outcomes, often rooted in human psychology and behavior. When we hear news of a market drop or see the fear index spike, we're confronted with the noise, the talking heads, the internet drama, and of course, the hysteria. It's a lot like random particles moving unpredictably in a lab, but instead, it's our emotions and the market creating those unexpected outcomes. So what do we do when the masses want us to panic? Well, no better. Hysteria spreads fast, like wildfire. I remember being in California during some of those devastating fires back in 2018, where the flames moved distances as long as football fields in just seconds. But this type of fire won't incinerate you if you turn down the noise and stop checking your counts every hour. Instead of listening to sell, buy the dip, try tuning into timeless investing wisdom like time in the market beats market timing. Boring is beautiful. Stay the course. You've likely heard these phrases before, and they've actually proven favorable for the vast majority of investors over the long haul. We're talking decades here, not days, months, or in some cases, not even years. So why does it feel different when the headlines scream today's news versus the historical crashes of 2008 or 1987? I mean, we bounced back from the Great Depression, countless recessions, and 2008 and 1987. Why should the news from 2 weeks ago be any different? Well, many people simply don't have the stomach or perspective for this stuff, and that's okay. Some prefer to lean on the help of a qualified professional to stay disciplined in the face of all the market noise and help them avoid rash decisions that could derail their long-term goals. If that sounds like you, don't panic. And of course, don't hesitate to reach out to a qualified professional. That's all for now, folks. Oh, and one more thing, stay around the clock. Thank you.